Howdy howdy, hello everyone. So I've made a video before on the M104, but I feel like that video did not do it justice. I had just got back into riding electric unicycles, and now I've got a different setup. I've got my Grizzly pads. I've had these for a while now, and it looks sick. But also, you're able to hop using these pads, and it just changes the game with the M104. So I'm gonna take it out, have some fun. You guys can check it out. Finally got some good weather today. Let's go. Because this wheel has so much torque and is really fast for its size, it helps a lot to have these pads that kind of lock in your feet a little bit. One, so that you can hop up and down really easily, but two, because when you're going pretty fast on this wheel and there's a bunch of cracks and crevices, those crevices kind of want to take the wheel in the direction that the crevice is moving. So it's all about gaining control using these pads, and plus, it looks really dope. And the M104 is already a tank, but having these pads really doesn't make me worried at all when I let other people ride this wheel, to try it out. Right there, I almost tripped on the stairs back there because the kickstand on the back hit the stairs. To me, it's worth having the kickstand just because whenever I come home and set it down, it's really easy to charge it and use that kickstand back there, but you could take that off and go downstairs just fine. I'm very, very used to this wheel and its speeds and what it can handle. So you'll hear me riding the beeps every now and then. I know I'm going 30 kilometers per hour and this wheel can go 38 plus before it cuts out. And so I've got plenty of headroom. I'm at about 85% charge. I ride this wheel all the stinking time, and it never ceases to amaze me just how much torque and power this little tiny wheel has. It is a blast to ride. I really enjoy this wheel a lot. So even though this wheel is a little ridiculously small, you can still sit on it, baby. Oh yeah! This wheel, you can turn it on a dime. It's really, really agile. I will say the pedals are a little low. Even on the M10 Mini, the pedals are higher than they are on this wheel. But, I don't know, I've never clipped anything with this wheel. I don't have any problems with it scraping. But I do want to switch my M10 Mini pedals with my M104 pedals because the Mini is a lot spikier and has better grip. You'll see me adjusting my feet a lot on these pedals. It's because they slip around a lot with these nubs. I always ride the M104 to the market to go get fruits, vegetables, and meats just because this place is usually packed that I'm at right now. It's the middle of the day, so it's super hot, no one's out, but then later in the day this will be a very packed market and I'm able to maneuver around on this little agile wheel super easily. It's almost like 100 degrees outside. It is so hot. I'm sweating profusely. It's also why I'm not wearing knee pads and elbow pads. Also because I've taken so many spills at higher speeds on longboards and skateboards that, I don't know, you kind of learn how to crash. Sure, you'll get some road rash, but that's not so bad. What's funny about these bridges that go over the highway is people will take their full-size motorcycles and mopeds up and over the street here, which is a little crazy. I live in a crazy city with mopeds and motorcycles. They are everywhere, and they'll ride with like 4, sometimes 5 people on one of them. It's ridiculous. And we have something called Waimai, people that work for a company called Meituan. They are like, what do you call that? Uber Eats, kinda. It's really convenient here. You can order food for super cheap, comes right to your house. And these guys, they ride mopeds to deliver your food. And they will zip around going like 100 kilometers per hour on the little moped lanes. You gotta watch out for them because they are quick. But they're also extremely skilled drivers. It's just funny to see. It's a silly city. The range you can get on this little tiny wheel, also insane. I could ride this thing like I am for probably 3 hours before I'm at like 20% and have to head home. It's so great, but it's also what makes this wheel pretty heavy for its size, is that huge battery. So being so small and lightweight, it's very unstable at high speeds, like 30 kilometers per hour. But the little muscles in your legs and ankles get used to it, so you can kind of control it really well. Just like skateboarding or longboarding, if you've ever gone down a hill and you weren't very experienced on one of those, you get something called speed wobbles. That's where your ankles, the little muscles in your ankles start overcorrecting like crazy, and it just makes the wobbles get worse and worse and worse till you inevitably eat it. But the more you skate, the more you ride the unicycle, the stronger those little muscles get, and they stop overreacting and twitching so much whenever there's a wobble. But yeah, when you're going 30 kilometers per hour or even up 25 on this thing, it's gonna be really shaky just from the road itself, not necessarily from anything you're doing wrong. It's just a small wheel, and this wheel goes as fast as a small wheel can go pretty much. Any faster and it would just wobble you to death. When I go off a drop with this Mten4, I'm using my legs to absorb as much of that shock as I can, just because I'm not sure that the axle on this Mten4 is strong enough just to let the wheel take all the impact. So whenever you drop it off ledges, it can do it, but just use your legs and go all the way down to your butt's almost touching the top of the Mten4 there, just to absorb as much of it as you can. You'll get really used to your legs being the suspension on a suspensionless wheel. But that's also why I'm really excited for this next wheel that I'm going to be making a video about. It has suspension, and it's also a very small wheel. I am very excited. I was going to ride over here a little bit, but I saw the biggest hornet I've seen in my entire life. I couldn't find it with the camera, but that thing was massive. Here I'm looking for it again. I'm like, dude, that thing was huge, like the size of my hand, like a small bird. Something that used to freak me out when I first moved here to China is you don't need cash. People still use cash all the time, but you don't need it. So you just use your phone to scan and pay. Super convenient and easy. But it's something that took me a while to get used to, and now it's definitely preferred. Alright, so maybe you're choosing your first wheel, or maybe a second wheel, I don't know. But I'll just tell you, if I had to start all over again, and I'm on a budget, I'm not looking to spend $3,000-$4,000 on a big wheel to see if I can even learn to ride one, I'm going with the Mten4. All day, every day. When I lived back in Texas with the wife and kids, I made a purchase of the Mten3. I bought the Mten3. because it was like the cheapest option and it was very small and compact. I was able to take it to work with me and ride it around the parking lot to go get cars and stuff. I was a car salesman at the time. It was just a super convenient wheel, but as soon as I mastered it, it got boring. It got really boring. I was bored of that wheel and I was like, crap. I was like, well, at least it's convenient and it serves a purpose, but it wasn't that fun anymore. But the M10-4 is not like that. I like to say I can ride really well now with my master up in the mountains, hit jumps and stuff, downstairs, upstairs. This wheel still, I ride it more than my master. This is the wheel I ride the most. I need to go grab groceries or I want to just take it out for a spin, and I'm never bored. It has so much torque and so much power in this little tiny wheel. It's amazing. The only time you'll ever want more speed and power is when you're on, a big road in a bike lane. We have moped lanes here. You're in a bike lane or something, pushing this thing, 30 kilometers per hour. What is that? 25 miles per hour, whatever. Pushing this thing 30 kilometers per hour, almost its limit. And you're just like, oh, this is so boring. I need my master. I need my big wheel. That's the only time. Just hop on the sidewalk in a more narrow space. Makes you feel like you're going a lot faster, as fast as you want to on this little wheel. This wheel goes as fast as possible for its size, honestly. I've got the M10 Mini here. I mean, they're pretty close in size, the M10 Mini and the M10-4. This thing's a lot lighter though, a little more compact. But I'm so used to the M10-4's power and speed, torque and speed, that when I get on the M10 Mini, it's just constantly giving me tilt back, and I'm not even pushing this thing hard. They have two different purposes, but honestly, this one can fulfill everything the Mini does, except for price point. Mini is much cheaper. This guy's what, $800? I don't know. I spent $1,000 on an M10-3. This guy was cheaper. Obviously, I got Grizzly pads, which are great. This is the wheel I teach everyone to ride on. I mean, people have dropped this downstairs. It has been beat up, and I've never had to do anything to it except tighten the. There's some bolts here that connect the wheel to the frame. I could feel it being a little loose, and so it's really easy. I just took off the fairing, tighten, boom, done. All I've ever had to do. Sometimes water will get in this headlight. You just unscrew it, wipe it, boom. I had that thing filled. Like, I could fill this headlight with water and put a goldfish in there or something. That light still works. It would blind the goldfish, though. But anyways, I'm actually waiting on my new Begode Falcon that's coming in. And I'm so excited. I'm really excited for the Falcon. I'm so pumped. I don't know if it would replace the M10-4 because it's going to be bigger than the M10-4. For the price, for the utility, and the fun factor, M10-4 it. All day. I'm an M10-4 fan. I'm a big fan. But yeah, so hopefully next week I'll be getting my Falcon. I'm going to learn on it a little bit before I make the video. That way I can be fully informed and skilled on it when I make it. But alright, thanks for watching. See you next time.